Let's do this again, Steeler Nation. For the second time today, we have breaking news for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This time, it is Larry Ogunjobi who has signed a 3-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Coming up, I'm going to be breaking down the contract details, what this means for the Pittsburgh Steelers moving forward. But first, this is why you subscribe to the channel. I've told you guys this earlier. This is why you subscribe. If you want to stay up to date with everything that the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing this offseason. This isn't going to be their last move either, guys. They've got more in the tank. I'm telling you right now. So subscribe to the channel. And then also here on the channel, if you didn't hear earlier, we have a great promotion for subscribes this week. Guys, if we get to 1,000 subscribers this week, we are going to give away a jersey on the show next week. So if you want a free Steelers jersey, you want a shot at a free Steelers jersey to add to your collection, click that subscribe button for me right now. It's going to be a great week next week, guys. We're at about 200 subscribers right now, so we're only 800 away. Get that subscribe button clicked right now. Now let's get into Larry Ogunjobi, who has re-signed with the Steelers. I didn't think it was going to happen, guys. I thought he was going to be a little bit too expensive for the Steelers' taste, but it seems like Andy Weidl, Omar and Mike Tomlin are really trying to build the trenches, and they see Larry Ogunjobi as somebody that is going to be a critical piece of the Steelers' defensive line for years to come. I'm very excited to see what they're going to be able to do here with Larry Ogunjobi. It's going to be a fantastic I think this is going to be a great deal, guys. I mean, you look at the contract details here, 3 years, $28.75 million total. So that's a little bit under $10 million per season. That's a little pricey for Ogunjobi, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, I'm just happy that Ogunjobi is back with the black and gold. All right, guys, go into the comment section right now and tell me, what is your one-word reaction to re-signing Larry Ogunjobi? This will be the pinned comment on today's show. So whenever you get an ad break, go into the comment section, find that pinned comment, and give me your one-word answer to this question. For me, my one word is happy. I like Larry Ogunjobi. I think he's a good player. I'm very glad that he's going to be back with the Pittsburgh Steelers next season. Now let's take a look at Larry Ogunjobi's stats from last season. Now you take a look at what he's got. 48 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and then he had a PFF grade of 61.7. Maybe not the best PFF grade in the world, but Larry Ogunjobi is a very solid starter. I've been saying it for months here on the channel, guys. Larry Ogunjobi is a critical piece of that Steelers defensive line. And now let's take a look at where he ranked last year when it comes to that PFF grade. Just 63rd in the league, so probably about league average. He is a pretty good starter. Now, he's not going to light it up, right? He's not going to be like a TJ Watt level superstar. We know this as Steelers fans, but having a solid starter in there that's been with these guys, that's been in that room, and has really had success with the Steelers. He really started to play well down the stretch last year. I think Mike Tomlin saw that, and he told Omar, I want this guy back on my defensive line next season. So this is what it looks like right now. Cam Hayward, Larry Ogunjobi will be back to play that 5 technique, 3-4 defensive end type role. And then it's going to be interesting to see what they do at nose tackle moving forward. You got Tyson Alulu, who is a free agent, Montravius Adams, who did not play well. It's going to be interesting to see if they keep him, because the Steelers are going to have to make some moves moving forward to account for all the money that they're spending in free agency right now. But moving forward, I think that the Steelers still need to add a nose tackle, because like I said, Montravius Adams just isn't cutting it, guys, whether it be through the draft or whether it be through free agency. The Steelers need to address this, and once they do this, I think they're set on the defensive line. So here are a couple options in free agency that the Steelers could look at for a nose tackle. A'Shawn Robinson, former Ram there. The PFF projects that his next contract is going to be 1 year, $3 million. I think that's a very fair price. And then you could also get a guy like Linval Joseph. 1 year, 1.5 is his projected salary. When you take a look at this, guys, I think if you add one of these guys, these cheaper nose tackle options that have graded well, according to Pro Football Focus grading, I think that this would be a really nice foundation. Get somebody that you know can play right away. And because of that, if you sign one of those guys, then you can go into the draft and draft a guy like Jervin Dexter or Keandre Coburn or Amazi Smith or Siaki Ika. You can bring in a younger guy after you bring in the veteran. That way you have 2 solid pieces so that you're not left hanging like you were this year with Alulu and Adams. This is an absolutely critical position in the Steelers' 3-4 defense. You need to have that run stuffer in the middle. I think either one of these guys would be solid options. It'll be interesting to see if the Steelers add a nose tackle during free agency. So go ahead, go into the comment section right now and grade the Larry Ogunjobi signing for me right now? Do you give it an A? Do you give it a B? Do you give it a C, D, or F? My grade for this is going to be a B. Now, Larry Ogunjobi, like I said, good player. Reason why it's not an A is because I think they maybe overpaid just a little bit. The average salary per year is just under $10 million for someone that's a pretty good defensive tackle. Now, this is going to be a lot of money, and that's my biggest takeaway out of this, guys, is that the Steelers are going to have to make some serious cap moves here moving into the future in order to be underneath the cap. Like right now, they're spending quite a bit of money on Larry Ogunjobi. They're going to be spending a little bit on Patrick Peterson. They're going to be over the cap here, so they're going to have to make some moves, whether that's a Minkah Fitzpatrick restructure, whether that be extending Miles Jack, Mitchell Trubisky, Chukwuma Okorafor. They have options to get that cap number lower. It's just gonna be interesting to see what they do. Right now, this signing definitely puts them up against the wall. They're gonna have to make some moves. And personally, I don't think that they're done yet, guys. I still think the Steelers are going to get a linebacker. I still think they're going to sign a strong safety. They might even still sign a wide receiver. The Steelers are not done. So I think they're definitely going to have to make some big moves. And personally, the linebacker that I would get if I had enough money to spend and he was willing to come to Pittsburgh, you guys know this, it's Bobby Wagner. I really think that Bobby Wagner can turn this defense into a top 5 or a top 3 defense into arguably the best defense in the National Football League. I mean, you would have elite players at all 3 levels of the defense. You have TJ Watt, arguably Alex Highsmith, and then Cam Hayward on the D-line. You would have Bobby Wagner in the middle, and then you would have Minkah Fitzpatrick in the secondary, along with Patrick Peterson. I mean, this defense would just be absolutely gross with Bobby Wagner in the middle. Miles Jack might be getting extended, might be getting cut here in the coming days. Bobby Wagner would be that captain in the middle of the defense. That would be fantastic for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I really think that Bobby Wagner or Levante David, for that matter, would be a fantastic fit as long as it's not too much money. Now, right now, Pro Football Focus says the Steelers can get Bobby Wagner for a 1-year contract worth $6.5 million. And this is the number 1 rated inside linebacker according to Pro Football Focus grading last year. This guy is absolutely awesome. I know he's getting older, but just like Patrick Peterson, just because they're a bit older doesn't mean that they can't play. This guy was playing at extremely high level last year, and I'm extremely excited to see where he's going to end up. He's been talking with the Cowboys. He's been talking with a couple of different teams. I hope that one of those teams is the Pittsburgh Steelers. If this happened, guys, I would just go absolutely bananas. I think that Bobby Wagner is absolutely number 1 on my list right now. There's some other players that I'd be okay with the Steelers signing, so maybe some players that might be a bit cheaper. But I really think that Bobby Wagner is a really, really good player, and he's the type of player that can transform a defense from great to elite. So if Omar Khan, Mike Tomlin, if you're listening to this, man, go and get Bobby Wagner. All right, that's going to do it for today's show, guys. I appreciate you tuning in for the second time today. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like I said earlier, guys, we're doing a jersey raffle on the show next week, but we have to get to 1,000 subscribers by Sunday. We're in good shape right now. We're at about 200 subscribers, but we need 800 more in order to get to that 1,000 mark, that goal. So I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel right now. If you're already subscribed, share the channel with your friends, with your fellow Yinzers. I appreciate you, Steeler Nation. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.